This isn't your typical Friday night temple service. There's a special vibe here at Beit in West Los Angeles. A band comprised of recovering addicts and Rabbi Mark's words of wisdom are the highlights.
We are beings who are wrestling with God in order to promote God's vision of wisdom, justice, kindness, truth, transparency. Every person matters.
A former convict and alcoholic himself, Mark knows tough love is critical to healing this audience, getting them to kick their addiction. Mark and his wife, Harriet Rosetto, who founded this one-of-a-kind recovery center, have helped thousands for the past 30 years. Their personal and professional bond had an unusual beginning. It is such a pleasure and a privilege to be here with both of you. How did you get this started?
We were called Jewish jail ladies, right? We went out and visited Jewish people in jails and prisons. We would go find Jews in those institutions and keep them somehow connected to the Jewish community. As I was visiting Jews in jail, there was nowhere for them to come when they got out. And they would recidivate, like the 90%. They'd come out, they'd go back. And so I got an idea, a vision really, to open a place where people could come when they got out of jail or prison.
One fateful day, Harriet visited Chino State Prison to educate inmates about Beit Teshuvah. That day, she met Mark Borovitz. He was the rabbi's inmate clerk. And his first impression of Harriet?
She had no desire to learn what convicts really needed and wanted. I mean, we're a smart bunch of people. So she was basically offensive and arrogant.
So basically it was love at first sight.
Right. My parting shot after I left the prison was, hey, I'm out there doing this while you're all in here laying around. When you get out of here, come help me. And one day he showed up.
Mark went on to become a rabbi. Together with Harriet, they heal souls through psychology and spirituality, along with providing real-life lessons like how to get a job. This House of Redemption, translated from Hebrew, is the only recovery center and synagogue in the country. It blends Jewish spirituality, psychotherapy, and the 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous. And you don't have to be Jewish to get help. Because you were in prison and because you were an alcoholic for so long, does that give you special insight into the people who come here?
I think so. It gives me insight and creds. You know, they know that they can run a game only as long as I let them run it.
I know you share similar values, but I see a yin and yang here.
It's not just that he's the extrovert and I'm the introvert, but that we put together the spiritual with the psychological, making amends, is also the heart of AA. So that is where Alcoholics Anonymous and Judaism are really very congruent in the message. That's why we put them together.
Nanette Scheid is one of many whose lives have been transformed.
I actually started using drugs when I was about 12. And it started with marijuana and alcohol. Then I started using pills, didn't matter what it was. When I moved out to California, the drug use really increased, and it was nothing to snort an 8-ball, which is 3.5 grams in a night.
3.5 grams of cocaine, that sounds like a good amount.
It's a lot. I was staying with my drug connection, and I was introduced to a guy there. I spent 4 days with this man, and he committed a crime. There was a robbery, and someone was killed during that robbery, and destroyed my life.
After nearly 30 years in prison for a crime she didn't commit, Nanette was ready to turn her life around. She's studying to be a therapist to help others in recovery, and she credits Harriet and Mark with her new life.
Harriet is my therapist.
Transition.
Right. And I think Rabbi Mark, I've learned a lot from him spiritually and religiously.
Just being in community, in prayer, with yourself, with nature, with God.
What are the Jewish values that you live by now?
I think most importantly for me, it's tzedakah, being able to give back. You know, I volunteer and I do charity work. Not just repair the world, but repair lives.
As you've repaired yourself.
Right. I don't think if I had gone somewhere else that I would have that today.
You've been on a lot of uncomfortable prison mattresses in your life.
Right.
What's the sleeping arrangement here?
These rooms are much bigger and the beds are more comfortable.
Beit Teshuva's success has attracted researchers at UCLA.
They studied our successes and our failures, and they have concluded that what works here at Beit Teshuva is community and relationships. That programs don't help people, relationships help people.
If you don't have the money, we're not going to tell you, Susan, you can't come in, because number one, a family has already paid so much. Number two, most families, if they're paying, they think they have some control over what we do, and that's never worked.
And number three, I think it's wrong to take advantage of people's vulnerability in order to charge them. It's not a Jewish way to be.
The payday is Nanette. The payday are all the Nanettes. Those are the paydays. That's what makes it all worth it.
And hiring her and having her now be part of helping other people, that's the chain. That's God.
Glenn Goss is also part of the chain. A recovering alcoholic who was a musician and songwriter for major artists, he now manages the music program and recording studio here.
Yeah, well, I got a job playing music full time, which is amazing, with health benefits, I might add.
So you're getting to write Jewish music
I am.
and perform it, and you get paid for it. What a gig.
What a gig. I feel fortunate, you know, and I'm proud of it. I think the music is healing in a way for this community.
So for you especially,
Me especially.
music combined with your Jewish roots, that's pretty powerful that
It is.
you've regained both.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I mean, I think about it, I could cry. I mean, it's exciting. It's you know, it's a reason to get up.
Goodness, kindness, decency, real principles and values are under assault from other outside forces. And Beit Teshuva has stood firm that every person matters. Everyone has the God-given right and entitlement to seek and get whatever help and care they need in order to live well. And we have stood fast for that. We have fought for that, and we will continue to be that in this world.
I'm starting over. I'm starting my life over. And they've given me that. They've given me a new life. You know, I couldn't be in a better place in my life today. And I think the best part about it is to hear my folks tell me that they're proud of me.
Nothing better than a parent's pat on the back, is there?
Right?
They believe in you,
They do today.
and you believe in you.
I was just gonna say that I believe in myself. You know, 28 years ago, I couldn't say that.
I'll meet you by the tree of broken glass, where the hope that anything could last. So let's go and take the words that we know and toss them in the sea of thoughtful dreams. But if you listen, you can still hear